Alrighty, check it out. Knocked him out of the rock. Got brave and knocked him out. Look at that. They're kind of a mahogany color once I get that all cleaned off and polished. I don't know if you can see it bomb down here. There is probably a mussel right there, some kind of clam mussel. Stuck right to it, so when I prep this all out, that's going to look pretty sweet. That's going to be a cool deal. That's a nice Nautilus. Alright. Beautiful ammonite and a nice Nautilus. Hey folks, Dusty here for another episode of The Distracted Fisherman. And we're out west in Montana, just a stone's throw from the Yellowstone River, out in the prairie. But it used to be ocean. Alrighty, just got done doing the intro. Look what I spotted and yanked out of the dirt. It's a Nautilus. Dang, 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 dang. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's sweet. Yeah, a little tough to see. I'll get a little water on him so you can see him. See if I can knock him out of that rock. Or get brave enough. Sweet. Looks like he come right down out. Man, what a start. Ammonite laying here, Nautilus laying here. Sweet. Gotta love it. I don't know what happened to that deal. Shut something off. Pushed the button I wasn't supposed to. Look at that Nautilus. Oh man. It's got kind of come in segments, Nautiluses do. And they still swim around in the oceans. That is a sweet find. That's in good shape too. Dang. A Nautilus and an ammonite in short order. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Alrighty, check it out. Knocked him out of the rock. Got brave and knocked him out. Look at that. They're kind of a mahogany color once I get that all cleaned off and polished. I don't know if you can see it bomb down here. There is probably a mussel right there, some kind of clam mussel. Stuck right to it, so when I prep this all out, that's going to look pretty sweet. That's going to be a cool deal. That's a nice Nautilus. Alright. Beautiful ammonite and a nice Nautilus. Sweet. It came right out of there. You didn't really want to carry that whole rock around, but you always take a risk when you start whacking on things. But luckily he's been getting weathered enough that he come right on out. Man, oh man, I'm psyched. If I find 100 ammonites to one of these Nautilus, it's really sweet and pretty dang cool. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. It's like these Septarian nodules that have fallen apart or got knocked apart. And they got all kinds of clams, oysters in them. Pretty dang sweet. And of course, ammonites and Nautilus. But cows get in here. You can see the cow poo. Cow poo. Right down here. There it is. And they get feeding along here, stepping on this stuff, and they break these things open in this old seabed of the, pretty sure it's the Bear Paw Formation, something like that. And it's all in stuff like this. It's like a big ball of stuff. I'll see if I can show you one, if I can find one that ain't broke. And you also find calcite in these guys, calcite crystals, which is usually what you associate with Septarian nodule. There's one in the ground right here that ain't been exposed. Right there. And that's up dug up underneath the ground there. And erosion and cows knock stuff out. And there's all kinds of critters in here. Here is some sort of clam. Fell right on out of there. Pretty cool. Also find baculites. But we already got an ammonite and Nautilus. Ooh, sweet. And it's pretty much in the area just like this. A little cloudy today, folks. But pretty sweet find so far. Let's see if we can do some more. Alright, folks, you can see I've been knocking stuff around, looking at it. And I spotted this guy down here, just a little bit of a reenactment. But I saw that ammonite imprint on that mussel or whatever it is right there. And I picked it up. Look what's underneath. Look what's underneath. This is the other guy. Oh, you can see the sutures in him. Cool. This is a baculite, kind of like an ammonite, only straight. Yeah, instead of curving around, it was just straight. These things are so dang cool. And that's how it hooks together. And you can see what they call sutures in there. That is sweet, boy. If I polish that up and put a little shine to it, that's nice, boy. My 3 favorite things in short order. Dang, don't look like anybody's been out here this year so far. Cool. Unless they're awful fussy. Sweet, a baculite. They're just so cool. Look at that. That's the way it hooks together. Like a building set. Boom, 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 all the way up. I don't know, he'd have been a couple feet long. Maybe longer. Don't seem real heavy, so maybe a couple feet long. That's a good segment though, in the sutures. Usually the shell is over the sutures and you don't see them. But I like it both ways. I like to see the shiny. That's what this is. It's kind of like ammonite, if you can call it that on a baculite. But underneath that, you can see how this thing's critters hook together. I call them sutures. Pretty dang sweet, boy. You can see how the sutures hook together into the next segment. All right. Dang. Got the trifecta already. Sweet. Out here in the prairie. Hard to picture all this stuff swimming around. And I think it's called the bear paw formation. And there's all these, there's some kind of blobs that all Septarian nodules. See if I can find some with some crystals in them and show you. Because you can find that too. And the luck we're having, we'll probably find some. Alright. See here, some of these guys got broke up. I don't know if it was by a person or by the cows. They're full of seashells like oysters and clams from that time period that were living the same time as some other critters. You can see the rock has busted and it is just all full of these guys. Pretty dang cool, and they look pretty cool, polished up too, if you're into that. A lot of people like me, got enough of them at home, we leave them. Somebody over there. What's that? I saw ammonite in there. Nope, it's just clams. That's just clams and stuff, oysters. Could be anything in there. You can come along and whack these rocks. We are on Bureau of Land Management land, and these guys are fair game. Invertebrates. Vertebrates are off limits on federal land, but invertebrates, like what I'm finding today, are fair game. What's going on up here? Seems to be a big pile up here. Let's check that out. Alright, here is some of the calcite crystals that form inside of these things. And a little hard to see without the sunshine, sorry about that. It is a cloudy day. But, inside those nodules you get all kinds of calcite, which is what you normally see when you see a Septarian nodule in a rock shop. This huge one up here got all busted up by nature and cows and probably some rockhounds. See what else we can find. Spotted this little guy laying in this pile. I put him up on the rock so I can take a picture of him. This is normally what you find. That side is my finger. And that's normally what you find. That's still pretty sweet. Clean that guy up pretty good. Nice little ammonite. Sweet. And you just kind of root through the pile. See what else is there? Oh, there's another one. I guess somebody was pretty fussy about it, or this was all done by nature maybe. Seems like somebody had took that guy. That was a bit bigger. Sweet. Little prep work, clean up nice. Some ammonites. But this is normally what you can expect to find when you go out in the prairie that used to be the ocean. Here in the Yellowstone drainage. There's some more stuff here. Kinda shells, oysters. I don't know what that is. Is that an Nautilus in there? I'll check that out. What's in there? Gotta find out. Came along here, checking this out. Got a stick. I'm like, what is that? Came over here to check this out. That's pretty sweet. Some kind of oyster or clam. Mussel. Pretty cool. So got the ammolite on it. Cool. Well, we got a ton of that. But when I was rooting around with that, I found this guy. Sometimes when you check something else out, you find something nobody noticed, or, well, doesn't really mean anybody else was up here, but so I've been doing pretty dang well. You see, it's ain't been up here this season. Look at that. Sweet. And then I saw another one. And boy, they can really hide in them rocks. Look at that. Oh, ammonite crazy today. Ammonite, got a baculite. Nautilus. Sweet. I'm loving it. Cloudy out, but that cuts down on the wind, so that helps with videoing. But you can see this is all beat up. Like I said, probably a combination of weather and cows and rockhounds. But even rockhounds miss stuff. This was one solid Septarian nodule. And there's still, I'm sure, probably more than half of it is still under the ground. What's in there? What's in there? Let's see if we can find some more. Dang, I didn't even get like 10 feet. Well, maybe 15. Here's some more. Amazing how stuff just erodes out. Oh, that's a nice one. A little prep work on these guys and they come out pretty nice. Look at that ammonite. Sweet. I think I seen another one. Oh, yeah, I did. Seems to be coming in pairs. He needs a little work too, but pretty sweet. Cool. Just walking along looking. Huh. Loving it. Loving it. Is this another one? Oh, this is a part of a bigger one. That's part of a bigger one with the bumps on it. What they call that, a scaphyte. That's just a piece of him. Cool. And we'll leave him here. We don't need to get greedy. Not that we aren't already being greedy. I don't think so. It's a nice little collection. Yeah, you folks are all going, there's another one. And I missed it. Laying right there with those two. Now I got 3 in a spot. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty sweet. And another one. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm on fire. Sweet. Big bunch of ammonites. So we'll leave him with when they find that scaphyte. They'll get a little ammonite bonus. Cool beans. Alright. Shut it off again, see what else I can find. You're all going, there's another one, there's another one. Where? Found this on the ground. Some kind of petrified wood, maybe. Bunch of pieces here. I kind of wonder if this isn't a place where there used to be one of those big conifer cones. That's a piece of it, maybe, because there's stuff all over the ground here. There, all broken up here. Look, this one. That's got an interesting pattern on it now, don't it? Sweet. Heck of a day. Look at that. Huh. Pretty cool. Some kind of petrified wood, but I think it might be just a big cone that busted apart into bitty pieces. Huh. All kinds of things going on around here. Them cones weren't growing when there was fish here, or well, I guess they weren't fish, were they? Ammonites, Nautiluses, and baculites. Here we go. There. I don't think there's big conifer cones like that. I guess it could have been. But this looks like a different kind of layer here. So, that other stuff is kind of in the gumbo, they call it. Kind of green. Tough to tell the day without the sun. But all kinds of different layers here that erode out. See what else we can find. Yeah, here's some nice shells. Oops, going backwards. Down into the canyon. People do nice prep work with this stuff. That would come up nice. Cool. Leave that here for somebody else. If you're into that kind of thing, there's certainly a lot of that laying around. One right here. Right the other side of that big one that's over there. Huh. Get the ammonite on both sides. Got a really beautiful I call them scaphyte. It's blue-green ammonite on it, and same thing on the imprint where I hit it. I hit the rock and it came right on out of the rock, so I got the imprint and the scaphyte. Fills up my whole palm of my hand, and boy is it beautiful. Blue-green. This is kind of white. But still, that clean up nice, polish up nice. A lot of people doing that kind of work on YouTube, like Theo Kellerson does a nice job of that. Let's see what else we can find up there. There we go. Right up here on top of this rock, you can see the little imprint on the bottom. Kind of looks like a snail. That is the bottom of a Nautilus, or the inside of one. He would have been really tiny at first. And some more of him here. Oh, coming apart. This is, they are built with a whole bunch of these that hook together just like some kind of building set. Almost looks like some kind of cashew or something. And it's got a little knob on it. Goes into a dimple in the other side. See if I can get some more of those out of there. Alright, so here's the other part that was in the bigger part there. And they start out a little small, just like an ammonite, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the other piece I found came right out of there. And they're just, I have some at home, they just stack them together like a building set. Here's the other piece that came out of that. See if I can set that there and put him back together. There we go. Right in there. Boom. So I'll be able to glue that right back on in there. I'm not going to leave that here because they don't hold up real well. It's kind of neat to show how they build up together. Go. That is how a Nautilus is put together. And while I was messing with that, I do just another ammonite. Heck of a deal. Ammonites, Nautilus, baculite, all kinds of shells, cool beans. Alright. Let's see what else we can find. Look at this big old shell. That's a big one. Pretty sweet. In pretty good shape. Somebody who's good at prepping stuff could make a real beauty out of that. But I'll leave that there for somebody else right there. Boom. Can't miss it. Coming down off this hill here. All scattered between the weather and the critters. And occasionally rockhound. Look at all the shell life in this nodule. They are just stacked one on top of the other. All crunched together. Sweet. Take that home, prep it out, huh? I'll take you a month. Well, maybe not that long if you know what you're doing. That's cool. Alright. So this thing, I was looking for odd shapes, and what I realized is that's the end of a baculite. The very pointy end of it. Well, piece burst off there too, but this sucker's been sitting out in the prairie so long, it's all worn down. I guess I'll leave it there. Kind of cool, but not as pretty as the other one. So cool find. Alright, wandering around trying to find some more Septarians that got fossils in them, and I found a vertebrate fossil. I can't keep it because we're on land management land, but looks like it's another astragulus. They seem to hold up really well. It'd be like if the knee or elbow, I guess you'd call it, of the critter went up, this would stick out the back side of it. So if you can picture the bone going that way down towards the hoof, and that way up towards the hip, this stuck out the back. Best as I can remember anyway. If you know better, tell me about it. Put it in the comments. But that is a fossil bone. But because of where we're at, and I got plenty of them anyway, I will set this here for somebody else to see. Pretty cool find. I find all kinds of different stuff. Never know what you're going to find when you're roaming around the prairie. Ancient times gone by when it was something different. But dang cool. Well, here's some more of that interesting looking petrified wood. All kinds of goodies on the prairie. Some areas, prairies full of pretty rocks. This prairie's full of fossils. Pretty cool. Could be they're part of them big conifer cones or something. I'm not seeing other kinds of petrified wood here, so maybe they're branches off of it or part of the cones. I don't really know. Really interesting. Out here with all the sea creatures and land critters. So many different time levels. Alright, see what else we can find. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed this deal. I sure did. It's so eerily quiet. I brought this point and shoot out with the muffled microphone on the top because it's been windy. But now it's just still. Very quiet. Well, thanks for coming along. That was a heck of a deal. Ammonite, baculite, Nautilus, stragulus bone, petrified wood or cone or whatever it was. All kinds of goodies. Some I'm sure I forgot. But it's neat go wandering around like this and find all these things. Pretty dang cool. Well, thanks for coming along, and if you get a chance, give us a like and a subscribe and a comment if you could. Sure would help us out, make this thing grow. What do you think of this? Yeah, we've been fishing. We've been to Florida fossil hunting. Now I'm out west, and Jason and Kathy will join me eventually. And we'll have us a time. We're in the Yellowstone drainage. And take Jason through the parks and all. So I'm about, I guess about a mile stone's throw, they would say out here, from the Yellowstone right now. And I'll just kind of be hovering around that, in it, around it, see what we can find and what adventures we can have. So come on along. Let's do it.